God says this in the prophetic books, through the prophets. Zechariah taught likewise. Zerubbabel laid the foundation of the temple, and will surely complete it with his own hands. The first temple was built by Solomon. Afterward, the temple built by Solomon was destroyed. 70 years later, God's people returned home, coming back from the land of Babylon and Perez. After returning, they began rebuilding the temple. God spoke through the prophet to Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel laid the foundation of the temple with his own hands, and he will surely complete it with his own hands. Later, when examining the scriptures, it was discovered that Zerubbabel was a descendant of David. This Zerubbabel prefigures brother Shibor, just as brother Shibor laid the foundation of the temple with his own hands, so he will surely complete it with his own hands. This means the offspring of the woman in Revelation is our temple. Thus, in our work, why is it that whoever lays the foundation with their own hands can also complete it? Because this nation is one where God's throne dwells. God's dwelling place among Israel. In ancient times, during Moses' days, God's treasury was among Israel. Therefore, because God's treasury was among Israel, it symbolized that God was with Israel, dwelling among them. Thus, whenever they went to war, they were always victorious. It was because God was with Israel. For God's treasury was among Israel. Therefore, God guarded Israel. Whenever they went to war, the ark went before them. For example, when attacking Jericho, God instructed Joshua, the leader at that time, to have the priests carry the ark of God. And other designated priests blew trumpets, trumpets of ram's horns. They marched around the walls of Jericho for 7 days. On the 7th day, they circled the city 7 times. And every time they marched around the walls, they blew the trumpets. On the 7th day, after blowing the 7th trumpet, once the sounding was complete, the walls collapsed. Why did the walls collapse? When the trumpet sounded, God remembered Israel. Today it is the same. We begin our work and will surely complete it, because we, like the priests of old, sound the trumpet. What does sounding the trumpet mean? It means calling on Yahweh to remember Israel. Each time the trumpet sounds, it is as if reminding God to remember Israel. Moreover, those who sound the trumpet must be priests. Brother Shibor is the high priest. So naturally, he sounds the trumpet daily. Sounding the trumpet is crying out to God, pleading earnestly before him. But to what extent do we plead? We plead 7 times or for 7 days. On the 7th day, we plead continuously 7 times. And ultimately, God answers us, enabling us to complete the work. We are able to complete the work because we continually sound the trumpet. Just as they marched around the walls of Jericho, sounding the trumpet, circling the walls of Jericho for 7 days. Each day they sounded the trumpet. And on the 7th day, they circled the walls 7 times. Finally, the walls collapsed. Indeed, once the walls of Jericho fell, the Israelites came and took possession of Jericho, ultimately achieving victory. All our work is done with God's presence. For this is a nation where God's throne resides. A nation where God's temple is established. Where God's holiness and his glory dwell. Therefore, as long as we start the work with faith, continually sounding the trumpet, it means constantly blowing the trumpet while working. In other words, pray while working. When tired from work, pray. After praying, work again. When tired again, pray once more. That is, we keep blowing the trumpet. Then God will give us strength, and ultimately we will successfully complete the task. Give glory to the Lord, who grants us strength and gifts. Amen.